Good morning.
Good morning.
Garrison Keillor tells the story of how Clarence Bunsen, who's one of the mainstays in his fictional town of Lake Wobegon, lay frozen in a cruciform manner on the roof of his house after he'd gone up to try to clear the house of some of the snow. He was tired and he laid down and laid frozen on that roof, and as people came by they said, "How are you?" I get a picture of this and I noticed Sally's smile. I can't help but smile as you think about somebody up there in that state and people asking, "How are you?" And he says, "Oh, just fine, no problems." And people just went by and kept asking that, and he never in that situation asked for any help. He was just fine. Thank you. The cross of Calvary tells quite a different story. And Jesus had taken the cold, hard blows of iron on iron, flesh against flesh, crushing tendons and bone, veins and nerves, into his very spirit and soul and life itself. Impaled on that cross, Jesus struggled both to breathe and to talk. And he struggled to breathe because he was still fighting for his life, even though he knew what God's plan was. Life was still precious. And he struggled for voice because he still had things to say. Today, you will be with me in paradise. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Yet Jesus had a settled commitment to endure the horrors of the cross until all was accomplished. Jesus in his lifetime on this earth had healed so many and taken care of so many while in this earthly life, with words of mercy and words of love and words of concern, and not by acts of brute force, but by acts of deep compassion and love, by a determined will that was born of courage and resolve to take what was given to him, painful and as unfair as it may have seemed. You know, Jesus could have demonstrated to Pilate that he was no threat to that community. And he could have demonstrated that he wasn't bent on murder or any destruction at that particular time. But Jesus himself, as we all know, had to die so that we could live. And this is why we gather, and this is why we remember him each and every Sunday as we gather here around this table. It's not because we have ambitious plans for our congregation. We want to build a big building or baptize millions, although certainly bringing those to the Lord is an important aspect. But it's because he, with his arms stretched out and held us tight, accomplished everything God had ever deemed necessary for our deliverance. We are a forgiven people. We are a delivered people. Let us pray. Father, we love you so much. And as we gather here this morning, we know the pain and agony that your Son went through on the cross. And the pain, the physical pain that he endured, and the emotional pain that you endured. Father, we pray that you help us this morning to remember that body that hung on the cross, that did so much good on this earth, but for eternity will do good for Father, we pray that you will help us never to take this great gift for granted. Bless us as we partake of this bread. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Will you pray with me? Our Father, what a gift you have given to us. And as we think about this fruit of the vine that we're about to partake of, we remember the blood that had to be shed for our lives. We're thankful for the fact that you are a loving God, that you are a forgiving God, and that while we still fall short in so many different ways, the blood of your Son cleanses us. It's hard to imagine. And to think about the pain that he went through on the cross and the deep, deep love that he had for you and for mankind. Father, pray that you'll be with us as we partake of this fruit of the vine this morning. Bless us as we do so. For this our prayer in Christ's name.